Okay, we've got a lot to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, to start with, a disturbing news story here. Area 51 veterans getting cancer as the Department of Defense denies they were even there. Sounds all too likely that they would deny it. And this is not the first time we've heard about people getting cancer in sensitive places.
Exclusive, we gather a group of veterans in the Nevada desert who all believe they were exposed to radiation during classified missions near Area 51 in the mid-'80s to early '90s. Their work was so top secret, the Department of Defense still won't acknowledge their service in the desert. And they say that's a big problem. News Nation's Natasha Zuvas was the first to break the story and went to the Las Vegas desert as these veterans are getting sick and pleading for the government to help.
Yeah, so that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to get the government to help, if the government will even admit they were there. Now, we've seen before, there was a previous case where somebody was able to get the government to pay for their medical care after a similar situation. Even though the government, didn't admit they were working on sensitive stuff, they still paid for it. So hopefully that will happen for these guys. My heart goes out to them. It's just so disgusting that the government won't even admit this stuff exists, and that there are people working on this stuff, and that there are sadly terrible health consequences sometimes because of that. It's just an overall disgusting situation, and one more reason why we need disclosure. It's just really upsetting. It's an over a 5-minute piece. I recommend you watch the full thing. But yeah, there you go. That's the short version of it. Meanwhile, we have new people in the administration, and this is an older news piece with two of them, Ratcliffe and Hegseth. Let's see what they had to say about UFOs back before they were part of the administration.
Our government as opposed to servants.
Well, that's true.
Work.
So, John, treat us like an adult here. You've seen the intel. It's January 15th in the year 2023. Are aliens real?
Well, I can't talk to you about, any potential alien life, so I'll just leave it at that.
There you go. What does that answer say?
Okay, but and here's what Tulsi said.
In my meetings that I've had with many of you, you expressed bipartisan frustration about recent intelligence failures, as well as the lack of responsiveness to your requests for information. Whether it's the surprise October 7th Hamas terrorist attack, to the sudden takeover of Syria by Islamist extremists, failures to identify the source of COVID, anomalous health incidents, UAPs, drones, and more.
Okay, anomalous health incidents. I guess she's talking about the Havana syndrome. And in the same breath, she mentions UAPs. Interesting. Is there a connection there? She kind of glosses over UAPs, but she does mention it. I've got to give her credit for that. Now, as far as Ratcliffe, he does have some other comments that are a little bit more encouraging.
But it gives us more information. We need to find out when there are, and there very clearly are now, hundreds of unexplained sightings, meaning that there's no natural phenomenon involved, there's no visual disturbance, it's not clutter or debris or birds or anything else, but objects that demonstrate technologies that seem to defy the law of physics and capabilities that we don't have as the world's superpower. Our role in the federal government is to provide for the common defense, and we can't do that if someone else has technologies that are better than we have.
Yeah, so there you go. So he admits that UFOs are a thing. He's not going to go as far as to say they're aliens, but he does admit they are a thing. So, that's reason for at least some encouragement, but we'll see how things shake out. Meanwhile, on a more fun story, was Bigfoot, or is Bigfoot, working with the UFO control group? Well, this gentleman says he had a friend working on ICBMs in Nevada, I think back in the 60s or 70s, working in association at times with the control group, apparently. And yeah, Bigfoot apparently was there working with members of the control group on advanced technology. It's his story. It is his story. And, let's hear briefly what he has to say.
Was involved. Now, what my friend told me long ago, the story I heard 22 years ago, was that they worked alongside on all kinds of technical projects all over underground caves in Nevada. And that Nevada was really stretched into Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Nevada. The underground infrastructure of the American military is very large in western United States. And so he had told me that he had spent a career working alongside them on all kinds of technical projects and got out in 1971.
So is or was Bigfoot working with the control group on technological projects? I don't see Bigfoot as a hugely technological species or group of species, whatever the heck they are. They do seem to be real. They do seem to be very anomalous, whether that's, quantum or paranormal or other dimensional or whatever they are. They have an innate nature that is very anomalous. And I can see why the control group might seek them out. But why would the Bigfoot work with them? Bigfoot seems like they only want certain people to interact with them, and they're very secretive and psychic, and they only allow certain people to approach them. Why would they allow members of the UFO control group to approach them, and how could they help anybody technologically? I don't know, but I guess they would have advanced knowledge and understanding based on their anomalous natures. They would understand things about physics and stuff that we don't. Potentially. So it's a fun story. I don't know about it, but I thought I'd present it to you because it is a fun story, and there are some more details in the full interview, and I definitely recommend you check it out because it's a fun story, and you never know, guys. You never know. Meanwhile, here's a cool UFO video. Check it out from Stephen Kent. A very unusual, colorful UFO was spotted last winter over Canada. Is that a saucer? Is that a saucer with a thing in the middle? Or is that some other shape? Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't know what to make of that one. Definitely looks anomalous. I don't know why we're looking at the ground here. Why are we looking at it? Did it go into the sea? Maybe I fast forwarded to the wrong part. No, the camera is just panning down for some reason. You've got a UFO up there, my friend. Yeah, okay. Okay, back to the UFO. Good. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this video, but it's really fascinating. If this is legit, then, we could be looking at a, other dimensional vehicle or a cloaked UFO, something like that. It's a cool sighting. And so let me know what you think about that. Jane UFO Research says it's not a UFO. It's an LED disc attached to a helicopter. All right. Is there ever a point where you can see that it's a helicopter? Okay. There's something dangling from a helicopter there. Could that be dangling from a helicopter? Could there be a wire there connecting it to the helicopter? Is there ever a wide shot where we can see that there's nothing over it? No, I don't think there is. So yeah, I think that could be the answer for that one. It could be debunked as an LED disc attached to a helicopter. But we do have this interesting UFO filmed by NASA displaying instant acceleration, says Kappa. All right, let's check it out.
This footage was captured by NASA. A small object enters from the right side of the screen and travels slowly across the curvature of the Earth. Initially, some thought this was just debris or a satellite, but as it reached the middle of the screen, it suddenly stops and seems to hover for a moment. The object remains stationary for several seconds. Then, without warning, it suddenly rises upward.
Nice, I like that.
After rising and then hovering again, the object suddenly moves off at high speed to the left of the screen.
All right, look at that. Yeah. instant acceleration filmed by NASA. Okay, I like it. Well, why don't they have a press conference about that if this is legit footage? Where is the press conference about that amazing footage? Now, if you thought that was cool, check this out. We've got UFOs. We got a fleet of UFOs coming out of a volcano. Look at that. I wish this was in real time. It wasn't all slowed down and everything. But yeah, check it out. What looks like a fleet of UFOs coming out of a friggin' volcano. That's pretty cool, guys. I mean, could that be, something ejected from the volcano? Some sort of magma or sparks or something? They look so uniform and they're all moving in a consistent direction. So I don't think that's what we're looking at here. We've seen, at this point, probably many videos of UFOs interacting with volcanoes, sometimes even coming and going from volcanoes. Is that because they're coming from subterranean cities within the Earth, and they're just using the volcanoes as easy access? Now, why do they need to do that if they're transmedium and they can go through solid rock and earth? As we've seen them do at Skinwalker Ranch, the one that comes in and out of the mesa. I think I actually saw one do that once. I don't know, but there you go. A fleet of UFOs likely coming out of a volcano. Meanwhile, Chris Bledsoe is posting this 1988 poster from the Trinity test site. Notice the lady in the egg, top right corner. So yeah, this was kind of fun. We've been talking a lot about egg-shaped UFOs lately, and now we've got a lady in an egg from the Trinity test site from 1988. What is that all about? Misty Echo. I think there was a more of an explanation for this. Yeah, what is Misty Echo? It was, if I can get to it. Anyway, nuclear testing, I think underground is the answer. But yeah, really interesting. And there's a lot of actually fun stuff in this. No more dry runs. Don't start the countdown yet. Misty Jade buried at last. I don't even know what half of these references are. Shut up, Binky. Some are saying that's a reference to silencing a whistleblower. It's a interesting poster. Okay. Meanwhile, Cory Booker is not buying that the mystery drones are FAA approved vehicles. Matt Laszlo again from Askable catches up to him and asks, what do you make of the White House explanation that the FAA approved of all of the drones flying over New Jersey? Booker said, the fact is clear that there were drones being flown in ways that were not FAA approved. So I'm not sure exactly what they're talking about. Then he goes on to say that he hadn't actually heard that debunking from the White House. I don't know how that could have escaped him, but maybe he's just not a big UFO guy, and he didn't have his ear to the ground on that one. He goes on to say, I was told directly by officials that this is not the case, that these are not FAA-approved drones, as President Trump said. I don't think anybody thought they were. I mean, maybe there are some FAA-approved drones up there. I'm sure that many actual drones are FAA-approved, and maybe, that's the shield they can use when this comes to light to the public, that this is not what's going on in this case. But yeah, this is a global phenomenon, shutting down airports and military installations. These are not FAA approved. Nothing can shoot them down or knock them down, although apparently one did crash at Langley, and now the military has possession of it. That's right. The government has one of these things, guys, at least one of these things. And they have not shown that to us or told us what the hell it is. And that, to me, that seems more anomalous. I think that if they found a Chinese spy drone, they would tell us. We know about the Chinese spy that was arrested for a spy drone. So, I think they would tell us about that if that was the case. They don't talk about UFOs. They deny. So I think that's probably what we're looking at. Their lack of saying anything worthwhile to listen seems to indicate to me that it's UFO. But let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, another debunking from ProPixels about this
Compelling. In fact,
about
that is
about this UFO picture that has been making the rounds lately. I'll just go to his final thoughts here.
be operating, because that's, if that object is truly there, I think it should be its properties in light reflection should be very different than what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so he's not buying that this picture is legit. Unfortunately, it's a great daytime sighting of a UFO. And of course, ProPixels doesn't have the final word on this, so let me know what you guys think. Is this a legit UFO image that we're looking at? He does a good analysis, and when I'm on the fence about something, I'll definitely listen to what he has to say. So yeah, but let me know what you guys think about it. Meanwhile, Stargate Voyager is talking about this elongated skull being found in Crimea in 2017, dubbed the Alien Boy. Dated to be 2,000 years old, the mainstream narrative stated that it was simply the result of cradle head boarding, yet it appears to have at least 30% more cranial volume than a normal skull. Yeah, really intriguing. What's up with the elongated skull beings? Super fascinating. They were in multiple places around the world, including, of course, Peru, back in the day at the same time the Nazca mummies were in residence in Nazca, back before they were mummies. And of course, the Nazca beings also seem to have had a global presence as well, and I've shared the evidence for that in previous videos. Interesting that Maria has an elongated skull, as do some of as do the human-sized Nazca beings. They have elongated skulls that have like exactly 30% larger cranial capacity than humans do. So interesting connection there. They were living close by each other. The Nazca beings appear to be hybrids, at least the human-sized ones. And we have this, exact, ratio of cranial capacity. So, yeah, what was the connection there? Are the Nazca beings hybrids of, humans? And, we have simian DNA in Maria. Is she a hybrid of all of those along with the elongated skull beings? What's going on there, guys? I would love to know. And why did different peoples around the world practice skull binding? Is that to emulate the beings? Or did the beings actually encourage that? As we see with Wawida, one of the Nazca mummies, who did actually have a finger amputated to make her tridactyl during her life. Even though she is an anomalous being in and of herself, she was made to look like a tridactyl being. Is that because the beings wanted those in their orbit to look like them? Interesting stuff, guys. I would love to get some clear answers on all of that, but super, super fascinating. Let's see what else we got. Anna Polina Luna is responding to this question. When you get the files, we the people should get the files at the same time. Do whatever reports you want after. And Anna Polina Luna says, you will. That is what we are doing. And that's very encouraging. I can't wait to see that. I'm still a little bit confused. We've seen with the JFK stuff that there's a process involving the president that they're going to have to go through to get these files out to the public. At least that's what's been shared so far. So, is that same process going to be implemented with the UFO stuff? Or are they just going to be able to get the files and release them, as she's seeming to indicate here? I guess we'll find out pretty soon. Meanwhile, Pippa Malmgren is saying, it is with great sadness to announce my father, the Honorable Harald Malmgren, has passed from us. He was an advisor to many presidents and global leaders. He had many important accomplishments. At age 27, he successfully prevented General Curtis LeMay and the Joint Chiefs from dropping nuclear weapons on the Soviet Union during the Cuban Missile Crisis, thus averting a nuclear catastrophe. He also advised Toyota to start making cars inside the U.S. at a time when everyone else was offshoring. There is more on his life and his wisdom coming. Sadly, Harald Malmgren, who has talked about being briefed on otherworldly matters while in his official capacity, has passed away. So, rest in peace and have a beautiful, lovely transition, Harald Malmgren, and thank you for sharing your insights and your wisdom with us. Okay, last but not least, the time a guy was swallowed by a whale and then spit out. He's going into the jaws of the whale, guys. Damn. Did the whale think he was a seal or something? Do whales eat seals? I know killer whales eat seals. Yeah, he's in the mouth of the whale right now. And then it spits him out. Thank God. Yeah. Wow. Woo. He's going to need a beer after that. I don't think he's ever going to have to buy a beer again from that story. But let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, links below. Buy a t-shirt in the merch store, buy a coffee mug, a hoodie to support the channel, or become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Also, channel members frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.